Hello again. Today we're making this little mushroom thingy that you can hang up from whatever you want. And before we begin, I want to say thank you to my 45 subscribers. I never thought I'd make it this far. You guys, I love you. Let's get started. So today I'm going to be using this yarn with a 5mm hook. You're supposed to. And I'm going to use a little bit of stuffing. It's not mandatory, but it will make it look a lot better. I hate to say it, but we're going to start with a magic ring or circle, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to have the tail end of the yarn over our hand like this. Then we're going to take our working yarn, the long piece of yarn, and wrap it around so that we get this cross. You guys see that? The cross? Then we're going to shove our hook under the first cross thingy, grab it, and maybe give it a little twist, okay? Then if you take your fingers out, there should be the tail on the end. That's what we're going to crochet into. So before we do that, we're going to chain one. So chain one. And then we're going to work 10 single crochets in this magic ring, magic loop, whatever you want to call it. Do 10 single crochets in there, and I'll meet you. You should have 10 single crochets. Then we're going to take the tail and we're going to pull it closed, my favorite part. Isn't that satisfying? Perfect. Now I'm going to use a stitch marker or a piece of yarn because I'm broke, just so I can keep track. And then we are going to do 10 single crochets in the first round. So we're going to start in our first single crochet here, right there. And we're not going to slip stitch or anything. We're just going to start working 10 single crochets in each of the stitches we have. Okay? You got it. 10 of them. After you do your 10, I'm going to put my stitch marker back. We are going to do 10 more single crochets, and we're going to do a few rows of this, guys. No slip stitching, no nothing. Oop, that's the tail. We're just going to keep going around doing 10 single crochets. I'm going to do like, I don't know, 6 rows of this, 6 more rows of this, of 10 single crochets in each row. Okay? Do you think you guys got it? I hope you guys got it. I'll show you the end of this round. So I just finished the third round. We should start seeing like a ball because this is going to be our stem. So we're going to keep going around doing 10 single crochets in each stitch. No slip stitching, no nothing, until we get our desired length of our stem. I'm going to do like 6 or 7. In case you guys want to watch me do a row, I'll put it in here. If you don't want to watch me do it, then fast forward. So I'm going to do my 10 single crochets. I'm not sure what to talk about while you guys watch me do this. I have a job interview today at Red Robin for a server position, although I have no experience serving, so I don't know what they're going to say. And I signed up for the interview time myself, so I don't even know if they know I'm coming. But it's in an hour and a half. I'm in my sweatpants and my sweatshirt, so I guess after this video I'll get ready. And I need to get my food handler's permit, I think. So I guess that's what I will be doing today. Comment below what you're doing, I guess, if you're watching this. My 40 subscribers, thank you. 45? I don't know. Okay, so that was one row if you wanted to see. Okay, once you have your desired length of your stem, this is the most important part. We are going to, only in this next row here, we are going to be only going through the front loop of a stitch. So remember in crochet, this is the front loop, this is the back loop. We're only going to be going through the front loops for this round, and we're going to do the same pattern. It's going to be an increase stitch, so we're going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then the next stitch we'll do 1 single crochet, and we will do that 5 times, which will be 15 stitches. So I will do this with you because this is the hardest part. So through the front loop only, first one we're going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch through the front loop. In the next stitch we are going to do 1 single crochet through the front loop. And that's it for that. We're going to repeat that 4 times. So in the next stitch, not the back loop, just the front, we are going to do 2 single crochets. And I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to put on the screen, when I say INC, that means 2 stitches in the same stitch. So the next one, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and I think you guys got it. There should be a total of 15. Just repeat that pattern 5 times. And this is what it should look like at the end. So now our stem is starting to go outwards. For this next row, we're going to go back to crocheting in the front and the back loops, so just like normal, and we're going to repeat this same pattern 5 times. We are going to do an increase in the first stitch, so 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then in the next 2 stitches, we are going to just place 1 single crochet. So in the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet, and then move to the next stitch, 1 single crochet. I'll do that one more time for you guys. So now we're going to repeat the pattern. We're going to do an increase stitch, so 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then the next 2 stitches, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each, and then keep repeating. It should be a total, I think, of 20, if my math is right. Okay, hopefully you're still with me. For this next row, it's almost going to be the same pattern. So we're going to start with an increase in the first stitch, and then we're, instead of 2 single crochets, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and we'll repeat that 5 times again for a total of 25 stitches. So 2 single crochets in the first stitch to start us off, our increase, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then we oh my gosh, I can't talk. We repeat that 4 more times. I'll do one more with you. So increase stitch, or 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 3 regular single crochets in the next 3 stitches. The next 3 stitches. Okay, and then you guys got it. Repeat that 3 more times so you get a total of 25 stitches. Your stem should be looking something like this, hopefully. And we are going, on our last row, it's going to be just like the last 3. So we're going to start with an increase stitch, but then we're going to do 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. So start with an increase. 1, 2. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. So 1, I hope you guys can see this. It's hard to crochet on camera. 2, and then 3, and last but not least, 4. We are going to repeat that 4 more times for a total of 30 stitches. So I'll do one more with you. So increase, so 2 single crochets in the same stitch, that's an increase. And then 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then repeat that, I think 3 more times. Okay, I'll see you at the end. Okay, you guys, I messed up on my last take. I already cut my yarn off, but when you're done with that round, slip stitch it to the next stitch, just so it's a little flatter. And then cut your yarn off and tie it through, okay? Don't make the mistake I did. So slip stitch it to the last one. It's not a big deal if you forgot. It's just so it's a little rounder. Look at us, you guys. We're ready to move on to the cap. So for this, unfortunately, we're going to have to do another magic ring. If you forgot how to do it, look at the beginning of the tutorial or just watch here. Do your crisscross, a little turn, take it out. There's our magic ring. So first we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work 6 single crochets into our magic ring. It is just awful, isn't it? What has the world come to? So do 6 and I'll meet you back. Good luck. After you got your 6 single crochets in there, we're going to pull the tail, my favoriteest part. Yippee! And then we are going to do an increase stitch in each one of our single crochets. Remember, increase just means we are going to be doing 2 single crochets in the same stitch. I'm going to use my stitch marker because I don't know how to count. So in the first single crochet we did, don't slip stitch or anything, we are going to place 2 single crochets. It should be a total of 12 stitches by the time you make it all the way around. So 2 single crochets in each, and I'll see you at the end. Once you finish that row, we are going to do a new round of just a single crochet in each stitch for a total of 12 single crochets. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then I'll come back and see ya. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. Please don't look. Okay, so you should have finished your 12 single crochets. Now for this next row, we're going to repeat this same pattern 6 times. We're going to do an increase stitch here, so 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then a regular single crochet. So let's do our increase, so 1, 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then the next stitch, just 1 normal single crochet. Now you can repeat that 5 times. I'll do one more with you. So increase, 1, 2, and then a normal single crochet for a total of 18 stitches. You got it. So you should have done 18 total stitches. So here's the pattern for the next row. We are going to do an increase stitch and then 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to start with our increase. So 2 in the same stitch, single crochets. And then the next 2 stitches, we're going to do normal, just 1 single crochet. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times. We should have 24 stitches total. Okay? I'll do one more with you. 1 increase. 1, and then 2 oh my gosh, you guys, I'm struggling. 2 normal single crochets in the next. Okay? If you're following along with me, then you're going to need to do that 4 more times for a total of 24 stitches. You got it. You guys, we're on our last row of our cap. So in this row, the pattern we're going to repeat 6 times is going to be 1 increase and then 1, 2, 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. And we are going to do that 6 times for 30 stitches. Oh my gosh, I almost double crocheted. So in the first stitch, we're going to do an increase, 1, 2, and then the next 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, we're going to do a single crochet. Just a normal old single crochet, nothing fancy. So that was 1 time. We're going to do that 5 more times. I'll do one more with you. So increase, 2 in the same stitch. I don't know how many times I said that today, but it's very important. You know what increase means, I-N-C. And then 3 regular single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Now do that 4 more times if you're following along, and I think you got it. Guys, you know what? I totally lied. I'm going to do one more row of 30 single crochets just all the way around in every stitch, because I don't really like the way that it looks, okay? So I'm going to add an extra row of 30. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Once your cap is how you want it, slip stitch into the next stitch and don't cut the yarn. Don't cut it, okay? Now, this next part is totally optional. I'm going to add little dots to here. If you want to do that, then keep watching or skip forward. So I'm going to cut a long strand of white yarn, about this long. I don't know how long it is, guys. I've also never done this before, so bear with me. And then we are going to place it on our cap, looking upwards. So this is what we're going to see. And we're just going to grab it so that it comes through. Okay, you see that? It's come through. And then just along our work, so I want a little tiny dot there. So I'm going to grab the yarn. Okay, let's look at the other side. This tail should still be here, but we're going to grab the really long end and pull it all the way through. You see that? So now it looks like we have a little stitch there. Then decide where you want your next dot to be. I'm going to have my next dot be around here. So poke your hook through the top. Oh, wait. I meant the other way. So that we can see our working yarn. Grab the long end of this yarn. Make sure this tail does not go anywhere though. And then pull the yarn all the way through. And then decide how big you want your little stripe to be. Mine's going to be that big. Guys, I don't know if I'm explaining this right. And then pull it all the way through. Just make sure this tail doesn't go through because then it's game over. So now I have 2 little specks on there. Guys, I've also never done this before, so please bear with me. Then I want my next speck to be here. So I'm going to poke my hook through, grab onto the long thing of yarn, and pull it all the way through, making sure that original tail doesn't go anywhere. And then I want the other side of the dot to be right here. So I'm going to grab onto my long yarn and drag it down through the shroom and pull it all, oh my gosh, pull it all the way through. And then there is my third little speck thing. And you can just keep doing that however long you want. So just decide where you want the next one. Grab onto the long yarn, pull it all the way through, and then decide where you want the end thing to be. Grab your yarn, wrap around, and pull it all the way through. I think you guys got it. Probably not. I just kind of made that up. I'm sure like maybe that's how people do it, but that's how I'm doing it. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. You guys, that looks absolutely horrendous. I would not even advise doing that if you didn't. But if you did, unfortunately, do that, then go ahead and take your extra long yarn, tie it to the tail, maybe make a knot. I hope you guys know I'm making this up. Like, I don't really know how to do this. I bet people do this, though. Just do a little double knot. Gosh, this is awful. And then cut off the extra long yarn. And it's going to be inside of our mushrooms, so don't worry too much. Okay, let's just move on from that and never talk about it again. Okay, so hopefully we're all back here together. So we just finished our cap, which we didn't cut the yarn yet, right? And we have our stem. So now we're going to combine the two with slip stitching, but be careful because it's about to get a little tricky. You guys, we are almost done. So we're going to slip stitch these 2 pieces together now. And you can slip stitch it the normal way or you can do it my way. I'm going to go through only the back loops on my red yarn and then the front loops on my white yarn. You don't have to do it that way. You can do the typical slip stitch if you'd like. So just the back loop. My back loops are a little weathered because I've done this probably 50 times, you guys. I keep retaking this video. And it's all for you guys. I literally love you guys. So once again, let me show you a little closer. I have a front loop and a back loop. The back loop is just all messed up. And then in my white yarn, there's the front loop, there's the back loop. I'm only going to go through the front. And I think this better look good because I've been doing this for a while. You can keep watching me do it. If you want to skip ahead, then go ahead. But don't close it all the way because if you want to stuff it, because we're going to add our stuffing when we're almost closed. Well, while some people are still watching me, if they're trying to get this whole back loop, front loop thing, if you were wondering, my job interview at Red Robin went fantastic. I absolutely ate, guys. I literally did so good. I think they're going to give me a call back. If not, can you guys subscribe so I have something to do? In the meantime, I'm going to lose my mind over here, you know? So that's all. If you were wondering what was going on. Or you could subscribe to see if I got the job. I'll tell you guys how it goes, if I get the job, if I don't get the job. So I'm going to just stop talking now. Hopefully you guys can see what I mean by the back and the front loops. And I will meet you when we're almost done. And it should look something like this. Once you're done slip stitching, just cut off that bad boy as we do and tie it through, and you are done. If you want just a mushroom, then that's what you get, a mushroom. If you want a little dangly thing, then keep watching. If you want to hang it up in your rearview mirror or something. If you want a strap to add, I chained about 30. Chain as many as you want, whatever length you want. And then take your hook and kind of just shove it in there. Okay, where you want it in the top. Probably around the magic circle thing we did. Then take a loose end of your chain, grab it with the hook, and then pull it through. It's a little frustrating, but you got it. Once it's through, you can just drag it through until it's in the middle or wherever you desire, and then you're done. Now you can hang it up wherever you want. Guys, believe we just made that. That was so fun. Well, thanks for watching, if you're still watching, and then thanks to my subscribers, and then if you never see me again, I hope you have a good life.